Hello students, today we are going to discuss the rest part of the reaction of alkyl halide. Our topic haloalkenes and haloarenes are of unit X, and we have discussed so many reactions in previous part of the course, that is part 6 and 5, and today in part 7 portions we will discuss chemical reactions of alkyl halide, specifically nucleophilic substitution reactions, where we will discuss the first some fundamental, that is optical isomerism. So, what is isomerism? In organic and inorganic chemistry, we see some compounds are there which are different in altogether properties, but their molecular formula are same. For example, what is glucose? Glucose is C6H12O6. What is fructose? That is also C6H12O6, but glucose and fructose are two different compounds. Similarly, if you will go to the isomerism segment or isomerism chapter, we will be seeing there are two types of basic isomerism. One are structural or configurational or constitutional, another isomers are stereoisomerisms, or we can say three dimensional characters are different. In that particular portions of stereoisomerism, we see there are geometrical and optical isomers. What are optical isomers? In order to understand optical isomerism of some compound, let me first say you, let us look into the screen. We will see this is an instrument called polarimeter, where we study optical isomers. Here what happens, if you see what is a polarimeter, let us come to this point. This is a source. This source produces light. This source produces light which is unpolarized, means the planes propagating or the planes of light wave are in all directions. So, this is unpolarized light. When this unpolarized light passes through this polarizing filter, which is a part of a polarimeter instrument, it gets a plane, one plane. The light is now in one plane, and this light proceeds through the compound which we are going to observe or which are going to study. This is the tube which contains the organic compound, that when the light passes through that organic compound, this plane of light rotates slightly. We can see, you can in this figure actually you might have understood that the waves are in this way, it means a vertical representation has been shown in this figure, but here it is a little bit horizontal. So, let me say you how it had happened. So, before passing through the chemical, or when it has passed from the filter, the waves were like this, it was along this plane, or suppose you are in front of me, I am the polarizing filter. So, the waves are going in this way, it is going in this way to you, and whenever the solution comes, the waves that are in this plane changes into in this plane, means it was initially like this, now it changes to this, a little bit inclined towards this. Either in some compounds, it suppose the wave or the plane was like this, it will change into like this or like this, means it was the initial plane and it is now. So, if you will see, this is your referential axis, the plane was like this and now it is turned into like this, means you can say it is rotated clockwise, means that organic compound can rotate the plane polarized light towards clockwise directions. And similarly, if you will see in this way, and light is now in along this plane, it has been changed, then you can say the organic compound has changed the light in left direction. In my next picture, I can show you the another realizations. So, the source produces unpolarized light here, you can see. This is our filter which is a part of polarimeter, and this unpolarized light comes in one plane. Whenever it passes through the organic compound, X some type of organic compound make this rotated towards this directions, and some other organic compounds they rotate along these directions. Means these two compounds are very interestingly are optical isomers. One again I am saying it here in board, try to understand in this way. Suppose this is the source of the polarimeter, light is supposed to come along this direction, but here is the place where we put the organic compound. So, there are chances light may pass straight or block, no indication may obtain, or light may go along this directions. The light was coming along this directions, plane polarized light, it has been now changed to this place, or some organic compound may rotate it along this directions. Which rotate towards right side, those are dextro compounds, those rotate towards left side, those are levo compounds. Here in the screen I have shown a molecule like this. I have shown a molecule like one carbon atom is there, and there is a bromine atom, there is a hydrogen atom, or sorry chlorine atom, there is a bromine atom, there is a chlorine atom, there is a fluorine atom, and there is an hydrogen atom. So, I have shown in this screen this type of organic compound which is producing an optical phenomenon. So, that is why the name optical isomerism. Now, let me say you what are the conditions for which optical isomerism is happening. Once again I am helping you to remember, we are reading properties of or the reactions of alkyl halide, but what is the necessity of reading optical isomerism? Because in the next part of our reactions of alkyl halide, this fundamental is essential. So, now let me say you must have remembered from your class 11 studies, there are cis-trans isomers. Those are the isomers which was created due to restrictions of rotations around carbon-carbon double bond or carbon-nitrogen bond. So, if the arrangements of groups around this carbon-carbon double bond are different, then we see cis-trans isomerism. Suppose this is hydrogen, this is hydrogen, this is methyl and this is methyl, you have understood this was cis isomer, and if it is opposite like this actually, then it is which isomer? This is trans isomer. So, you have understood cis-trans isomerism. For conditions of cis-trans isomerism, we require this much thing. There must be a C double bond C or there must be a C double bond N. But what are the conditions for our optical isomerism? For the optical isomerism, the condition is that the carbon atom should be a chiral one. What do you mean by chiral one? Means the molecules should not have any plane of symmetry POS or center of symmetry. Means you cannot cut the molecule into two equal halves. Let me say, for that purpose what happens actually, the necessary condition is that the carbon atom should be attached to 4 different groups. Let us think of this molecule. This molecule cannot produce any type of optical activity. Means if we will place this molecule in presence of that plane polarized light, it will be incapable of rotating light, because its 4 different groups are same. So, this is optically inactive, such compound is optically inactive. If I will change any one group hydrogen by either fluorine or chlorine or bromine or iodine, any other group, then I get this. This is still also optically inactive, because this compound have a plane of symmetry. We can cut this compound along this plane into 2 equal halves. We can cut this compound into 2 equal halves along this plane. Along this plane we can cut it in 2 equal halves, or along this plane I can cut it into 2 equal halves. So, this is also optically inactive, this cannot rotate a plane polarized light, where at least one group is different and 3 groups are same. Let us come to understand this molecule. this molecule is still optically inactive because two groups are same here. Here two groups are same. Since two groups are same, we can have a plane of symmetry. We can cut the molecule into two equal halves along this plane. So, this is also optically inactive, but let us think about this molecule. This molecule is, we should realize this molecule is something like this, that this molecule is something like this. Suppose here is X, here is Y, here is M and here is N. 4 different groups are there. You can say there are 4 different groups. Such molecule where one carbon atom is attached to 4 different groups, we can say such molecules are optically active, and that carbon atom which is attached to 4 different groups is a chiral group. And here we cannot get any plane of symmetry. We cannot cut this molecule along this way, we cannot cut it along this way, neither along any bond nor along any in between bonds actually. This molecule, ये molecule को हम equally two half नहीं कर पाएंगे. Since equally नहीं two half नहीं कर पाएंगे, तो it is an optically active compound. This is an optically active compound, you can see. Think of this carbon atom. This carbon atom, there are 4 carbon atoms. This carbon atom, this group is different from this group, is different from this group, is different from this group, and different from this group. So, this is an optically active compound. Now, let me say you how the two optical active compounds, one is dextro, one shows dextro, another shows labo. In this screen actually we can see why this is the region, this is a molecule I am showing here in the screen. You can see carbon atom is attached to 4 different groups, COH, R, NH2H, COH, C, H, R and H. So, this carbon is attached to 4 different groups. 4 different groups are attached to carbon atom, that is why there is no plane of symmetry existing in that molecule. Another condition for chirality is that suppose it is a mirror, this is the molecule COH, NH2, R and H. Its mirror image, if it is a mirror NH2, R, COH and H. If this compound will be dextro, then this will be labo. If this will rotate the plane polarized light into right directions, then that will rotate into left directions. This will be a very interesting one, because and these two molecules they create they are mirror images of each other. Suppose this is the mirror, these are the images actually you can say, and they produce a non-superimposable mirror image, non-superimposable mirror image. Mirror image means if image will be placed upon, if this is the image will be placed upon the object, then you can see this atom is matching with this atom has matched with this atom, these two atoms, hydrogen atoms are matched, but here is the difference. So, this is non-superimposable mirror image. Such type of molecule shows optical isomerism. So, which are superimposable mirror images and which are non-superimposable mirror images, let me show you. Suppose I am showing here a globes. These are the 2 globes. These 2 globes have mirror images like this. These 2 have the mirror images like this. If there will be a mirror here, then these are the images. But if you will place it over it, they are matching. These are mirror images, but they are matching. We can put it in any of our hands. So, these are superimposable mirror images. But let me say about this type of thing. This is a globes. So, we can say if there will be mirror here, then these 2 are mirror images. If you will take the image and put it over the object, it does not match. So, this is non-superimposable mirror image, and they are different because say think of this actually. So, this is the situation, let us say this is the mirror axis, let assume this is the mirror axis. So, this is the image, it is non superimposable, and suppose this is meant for my this hand, this is object was meant for my right hand palm, but if I will bring the image will not fit to my right hand, means these two are two different molecules. So, this is the meaning of chirality. Optical isomerism is created if there is a chiral center in the molecule. What is a chiral center? Once again let us discuss, or let us remember, carbon atom should be attached to 4 different groups, then that carbon atom is called as a chiral centers. So, let us go to read. So, we have understood the realizations of our palms, where we are seeing 2 palms are the representations of 2 optical isomers. So, now let us see this molecule. This molecule is lactic acid which is present in cod. ये दही में रहता है, ये मॉलिक्यूल, ये केमिकल दही में रहता है. चलो इसको देखते हैं. इसमें जो कार्बन एटम है दैट इज अटैच्ड टू 4 डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स, राइट. So, 4 different groups the carbon atom is attached. The shaded or the dash hydrogen atom means it is below the plane, and this COH group OH group is above the plane. This is negative, means it is laborotatory, which rotates the plane polarized towards left directions. This is this, and this is dextrorotatory, which rotates the plane polarized light towards right. Okay. So, let us go to read the next slide. This is tartaric acid. Tartaric acid is present in tamarind. So, tartaric acid have 4 carbon atoms. So, try to understand, this is aldehyde group, this is not a chiral center. This carbon atom is a chiral center because it is attached to 4 different groups. This carbon atom is a chiral center, this CH2OH is not a chiral center. So, there are 2 chiral centers or 2 optically active carbon centers. So, tartaric acid exists in these 4 structures, 1, 2, 3 and 4 structures are there. So, try to look the configuration. Here is HH, here is HOH, here is OHH and here is OH. So, this structure and these structures are 2 mirror images of each other. So, they are called as enantiomers. This structure and these structures are mirror images of each other. So, they are called as enantiomers, and this structure and these structures are not mirror images of each other. If you will put a mirror here, it is not the image of this or it is not the mirror image of this. So, they are called as diastereomers. Similarly, this is not the mirror image of this or vice versa. So, these 2 are diastereomers. These 2 structures are diastereomers because they are also not mirror images of each other. These 2 structures are also not mirror images because they are also not their mirror images. So, after this structure and enantiomers and diastereomers, let me discuss an example where we will count the number of chiral centers, and for that I am discussing a molecule chloramphenicol. This is an antibiotic. Let us, this is the structure of chloramphenicol, and here we can see this carbon is attached to 2 similar groups. So, this is not chiral, this carbon is not chiral, this carbon atom, the star mark carbon atoms are chiral carbons, means rotations of the molecule will be along this axis. Now, we will be going to different type of reactions which are involved for optical activities. There are inversion reactions, let us look into the screen. There are inversion reactions, there are retention reactions, and there are racemization reactions. This is an inversion reaction. Why it is called as an inversion reaction? Because you see the nature of the reactant. In the reactant, this is the tetrahedral and the product side the tetrahedron is reversed. I mean, we can say if this molecule will be dextro, this molecule will be levo 1, or this molecule will be levo, then this molecule will be dextro. So, this is called as inversion type of reaction. Similarly, in this reaction, if you will just look, this is CH2OH, OH group has been replaced by chlorine. So, this is the final product is CH2Cl, and the reactant and the product have the same type of arrangement. CH2OH is in this side and CH2Cl is also in the same side. So, this is the same dextro compound remain as dextro or LABO compound remain as LABO. So, this is called as retention, and this is a compound, this is a reaction where it is called as racemization. Why it is racemization? Because suppose this is the intermediate, this has been obtained from a reactant, the reactant produces this intermediate. After this intermediate is formed, the reactant which is not shown in this figure will be producing these two types of organic compounds. This is and these are, these two are, one is, if one will be dextro, other will be what? LABO isomer. Okay. So, let me discuss some models of this retention, inversion and racemization reaction. So, I have told that carbon atom containing 4 different groups attached is called as optically active carbon atom. So, this is an optically active compound. Say this is the reactant. If this reactant will react with some species, this red ball will be removed and some other thing will be joined here. Means suppose chlorine is removed, OH is entering, then the molecule may be something like this. The molecule may be something like this. You can understand the molecule may be something like this. The red has been replaced by this. This was chlorine, suppose this is OH. If reactant is like this and product is like this, means it is dextro, rotating plane polarized right towards right. This is also dextro, because the same side where chlorine was there, OH is there. So, this type of reaction where dextro produces dextro or LABO produces LABO is called as retention type of reaction. Suppose the product is like this, this is the reactant and this is the product. Just we can understand, this is the reverse product of this. This is, you can see, suppose at this side there was chlorine and this side there is OH. I am matching chlorine and OH, but try to look, these two groups are not matching. Means if reactant is dextro, product is a LABO. It is the same reaction, methyl chloride turns into, or suppose any alkyl chloride turns into alcohol. So, this is also the same thing, but it is an inversion type of reaction. This is inversion type of reaction, this is retention type of reaction. Suppose in any reaction, a reactant is producing, suppose this is the reactant producing 50-50 percentage of two compounds, this and this, 50%, this is the reactant, but there are two different products. As once again please look into the screen, once again you please look into the screen. Yes, you can see the reactant has produced some intermediate and intermediate has produced two different compounds, intermediate has produced two different compounds. If one is dextro, another is LABO, 50% dextro, 50% LABO. The vessel contains 50% dextro isomer and 50% LABO isomer, and the total rotations will be 0, and that is called as racemic mixture, and the reaction is called as racemization. So, in that way, let me discuss a reaction where very interestingly some optical activities are marked. Suppose I am giving you a formula like car, means upon cis alkene, if there will be anti addition, then a racemic mixture is obtained. CAR, car. Cis alkene is this, CH3, H, CH3, H, this is a cis alkene. Anti addition is done by bromine. So, whenever this will be added, we will be getting a compound like this, which is having 50-50 percentage of possibilities. So, here is CH3, or suppose here is CH3, H, Br, Br, H, CH3. 50% of chances are there also production of this compound, Br, H, H, Br, CH3. The product we can say this is a 50% of this product, 50% of this product. If one will be dextro, another will be levo, means the whole mixture is a racemic one, means this is a racemization reactions. This is the speciality of an organic reactions which is necessary for understanding, particularly in alkyl halide and alcohol topics actually in our organic chemistry. So, optical isomerism has a lot of importance in our day to day life, means how it is very important in our day to day life. Say what is happening in our day to day life. Now, a lot of biochemical reactions are happening inside our body. Remember, biochemical reactions that are happening in our body contains biomolecules. Most of the biomolecules are optically active molecules. Medicines are optically active compounds, and several very important biomolecules are organic compounds and which are optically active. So, in this way we finishes optical isomerism here briefly, and I think you have understood it. Hello students, once again welcome to the chemical reaction part of haloalkanes and haloarenes. It is part 8 of the chapter haloalkane and haloarene, which is unit 10 of class 12 syllabus. So, in this portion we will be discussing SN reactions. SN, S means substitution, N means nucleophile, nucleophilic substitution reactions. So, before reading nucleophilic substitution reactions, as I have told in my previous part, what are different types of reacting species, there what are different types of reactions, addition reactions, substitution reactions, elimination reactions, all that we have discussed. So, today we will be discussing substitution reactions. So, what do you mean by that? Substitution reaction. In a substitution reaction, what happens? There is an in-out type of reaction. One species is out from the molecule, another species is in. Just like in a cricket team, we see batsman substitution. What happens there? One batsman is allowed to sit or take rest, another batsman in. A left-handed batsman is substituted by a left-handed batsman. A right-handed batsman is substituted by a right-handed batsman. A leg spinner is substituted by a leg spinner. A off spinner is substituted by a off spinner. If there is no particular any region, or it depends upon the situation, the match, the place of match, the country name, all that varies. But the normal thing is that a bowler is substituted by a bowler, a batsman is substituted by a batsman, a wicket keeper is substituted by a wicket keeper. So, there are two different types of attacking species. There are nucleophiles or there are electrophiles. I do not want to go to discuss it in detail, what are those things, but just let us understand these are positive charge lovers, negative charge lovers, electrophiles, and these are positive charge lovers, positive charge lovers. So, nucleophiles are positive charge lovers. What happens in an alkyl halide? Structurally, alkyl halide is this. Whenever it is reacting with any nucleophile, the product is like this. So, this is a nucleophilic substitution reaction, SN reaction. Nucleophilic substitution reaction or SN reactions. We are reading nucleophilic substitution reactions of alkyl halide. Let us discuss some nucleophilic substitution reactions of alkyl halide in an interesting way. Please students, do not be confused upon these things. What are the types of reactions like addition reactions, substitution reactions, elimination reactions. Try to understand these three words clearly. Some species is added, addition reactions, in-out type of reaction, substitution reaction. One species is eliminated, elimination reactions. Another very important fundamental you have to remember, what are nucleophiles and what are electrophiles. The reaction where nucleophile is substituted is called as nucleophilic substitution, and we are reading that reactions of alkyl halide. Say suppose this is the alkyl halide. In an alkyl halide, we know this halogen part is negative and this alkyl part is positive, means this behaves as a nucleophile. This will be substituted by another nucleophile. Suppose I give a nucleophile, then what will happen? A nucleophile will be attached here. Suppose I give OH minus, then ROH will be the product. If I give OR minus, then RO R dash will be the product. If we give KCN, then RCN is the product. If we give AgCN, then RNC isocyanide is the product. Here things remain to understand why that is happening. We will be discussing it. Similarly, if we give KNO2 or potassium nitrite, RONO, alkyl nitrite is the product. If we give AgNO2, then RNO2, nitroalkane is the product. So, only this much of nucleophilic substitution reactions we are discussing now. There are so many nucleophilic substitution reactions, but in this part we are discussing only this, and here is also something to discuss why this is happening. Students often forget these two reactions, they are confused. I have told you sometimes organic chemistry creates confusion in our mind. So many molecules, so many reactions, so many names, so many bombastic words, but remember one thing, just you give only 10% of your brain power and you look perfectly. Just give a concentration look only once. You will remember organic chemistry and nothing will shake you. You will answer all questions within 5 minutes. Nothing will confuse you. I have told you the story of Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, there are several characters. In Ramayana, there are several characters. If you do not give a little bit interest upon this, then everything comes a confusion to us actually. I have told, if someone is confused upon Mahabharata and Ramayana story and we ask him a question, who has killed Ravana? Then he will say, Arjun has killed Ravana or Bhima has killed Ravana. Who kidnapped Sita? He will say Duryodhana kidnapped Sita, because he is confused. And that happens also in our mind whenever you read an organic chemistry. For your clearance of these two confusions actually, I am saying a trick. The trick is that just to remember, if you are giving Ag compound, then R will be bonded with N. Remember in that way. अगर हम सिल्वर का कुछ कंपाउंड देंगे तो R के साथ नाइट्रोजन का बॉन्ड होगा. देखिए, in AgCN it is RNC and in AgNO2 it is RNO2. And other two you can remember. Whenever there is a comparison, we remember in this way. I am simplifying these reactions actually. Suppose let us discuss this reaction first. This reaction is this. Suppose methyl bromide is there. Methyl bromide with KOH aqueous produces methyl alcohol. This is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Aqueous potassium hydroxide, aqueous sodium hydroxide, aqueous any alkali produces this product. That part is discussed. If we will discuss this part, Rx with OR minus produces ROR dash. That is a very important reaction which will also be taught in next of unit 11, that is Williamson's reactions. Williamson's reaction where an alkyl halide react with an sodium alkoxide producing an ether. So, this is Williamson's reaction. Alkyl halide react with sodium alkoxide, This is sodium alkoxide. Let me be clear, just like your NaOH is sodium hydroxide, So, this will be sodium methoxide, this is sodium ethoxide, this is sodium propoxide. In that way, NaOR dash is sodium alkoxide. This is the nucleophilic part, this is the nucleophilic part, there is in and out here, and we produce, or the compound produces ROR dash plus NaX, this is ether. Sometimes in unit 11, in ether topic we will be discussing it in detail, but here you just remember this should be conditionally primary halide only, and this R dash group may be primary, secondary and tertiary group. This is a condition for this reaction, because if it will be a tertiary halide, and if you do the same alkoxide, then the product is preferably an alkene, not an ether. And in such case, it will not be an, this is an SN reaction, but this will be an E reaction. I have discussed in part 1 of the in previous classes actually the elimination reactions. Whenever a tertiary halide gives or gets an alkaline or a basic medium, it undergoes rapidly elimination reaction. That is a competition over elimination, and elimination competition over SN reaction by elimination reaction. Elimination reaction overlaps SN reaction. So, this is second nucleophilic substitution reaction. In detail of this Williamson's reactions we will be reading in ether topic. Let us go to understand that alkyl halide when treated with KCN, it produces RCN, when treated with AgCN, it produces RNC. Why? Why? Trick I have told you, if Ag compounds are given, then R is bonded to N, right. So, I can understand it in this way. Suppose it is KCN, it produces CH3CN. If it is AgCN, it produces CH3NC, isocyanide or a carbyl amine compound. It is a very odd smelling compound and it is cyanide. Why this happens? Why? Why? Let us discuss why. Because KCN is ionic. It produces K plus and Cn minus. In Cn minus, the bond or the negative charge is over this carbon atom. So, this is positive, and in Cn negative charge is here. That is why you see the bond is between R, C, N. The bond is between R and C. Instead, AgCN is not ionic. Not ionic. It is covalent. It is covalent according to which rule? Pagen's rule. So, if it is covalent, then it does not produce any ion. Rather, what happens? Now, there is lone pair over nitrogen atom. So, this is positive. So, here the nucleophilic substitution occur from this side. This is positive, this attacks here. So, that is why you see the bond between what? R and N, we get the bond. So, this is the reason for which this reaction happens. So, also let us come to understand, let us go to understand nitrides actually. As we have discussed, alkyl halide when added with KNO2, we get RONO. It is alkyl nitrite, but when it is treated with AgNO2, it is RNO2 is nitroalkane. once again I will help you to remember the trick. जहाँ जहाँ Ag वाला कंपाउंड होता है तो R के साथ N का बॉन्ड होता है, नहीं तो ये कंफ्यूजन हो जाएगा. So here let us understand why it is happening. Why it is happening? Same thing. KNO2 is a compound of potassium. It is ionic in nature. It produces K plus and NO2 minus. The structure of NO2 minus is like this. This is NO2 minus. So whenever there is bond, the bond will be between RO and NO. This is the thing. And this is AgNO2. AgNO2 is covalent. Covalent according to the concept of Pagen's rule. Most of the compounds of silver are covalent by nature. Silver fluoride is very less covalent, but other compounds of silver are covalent in nature. They do not produce any ion. So what happens? Now the same thing, lone pair of nitrogen act as a nucleophile. I have said that nucleophiles are positive charge lovers. So attack will be here and bond will be between R and NO, right. So now let us solve a question upon this. Suppose I want to discuss this reaction, CH3Br, how can be converted into acetic acid? How can it be converted into acetic acid? On what should be given here so that it will be converted into this? Very simply, we can treat potassium cyanide here, it will be changing into methyl cyanide or ethane nitrile, and this will be hydrolyzed. In presence of acid, it will be acetic acid. So methyl bromide can be converted into acetic acid by this reaction. This reaction is necessary here to convert it. So we will be discussing the next reactions of haloalkanes and haloarenes. Students, so we have understood nucleophilic substitution reactions. Let us understand optical isomerism and nucleophilic substitution reactions, how they are correlated or interrelated. Once again I am helping you to remember or to say this is alkyl halide and this is the product which is substituted by a nucleophile. This is an SN reaction. SN reactions are of these categories: SN1, SN2 categories. Prime categories are 2, means unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reactions, bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reactions, unimolecular and bimolecular. Here we come across a word molecularity. This is something where we will read in this topic, chemical kinetics. But before that I am saying, if you will see a chemical reaction and you will study the mechanism and you look into the slowest step of the reaction, how many species are reacting? If one species is reacting in the slow step, then you will say that is a unimolecular reaction. If in the slow step 2 molecules or 2 species have been reacted, then that is called as a bimolecular reactions. So this is the meaning. SN meaning means, once again I am saying, nucleophilic substitution reaction, unimolecular, nucleophilic substitution reaction, bimolecular. One more is there, nucleophilic substitution reaction, internal. So we are discussing here SN1 and SN2 reactions. Let us go to the slide, look into the screen. We will be seeing a bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reactions, right. Look into here. So this is the reactant, this is methyl chloride and OH minus is there. We can see this is the slow step. At the slow step there are 2 species reacting and this is the intermediate. Intermediate is something C and Cl bond is breaking, C and OH bond is in a formation stage. This type of intermediate is formed, and now the tetrahedron is reversed as if an umbrella is upside down in presence of strong wind. जो हवा चलने पर जैसे छतरी उल्टा हो जाता है, वैसे ही टेट्राहेड्रन जो था यहाँ वो भी चेंज हो गया है. यहाँ एक इंटरमीडिएट आता है जहाँ कार्बन क्लोरीन बॉन्ड थोड़ा ब्रेक होते हुए दिखाई देता है और कार्बन OH बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन स्टेज में है. मतलब एक का साथ रिश्ता टूट जा रहा है, दूसरा रिश्ता जुड़ जा रहा है. एक का साथ दोस्ती खत्म होने को जा रहा है, दूसरा दोस्ती शुरू हो जाता है. ऐसा तो हमेशा होता है हमारा बीच में, हमारा आप लोग का दोस्त के बीच में भी ऐसा होता है. तो एक रिलेशन कट ऑफ होता है, दूसरा रिलेशन सेटअप होता है. ये होता है एक टाइप का इंटरमीडिएट. ये थर्मोडायनेमिकली भी पॉसिबल है क्योंकि कार्बन जैसे छोटे एटम के चारों ओर हाइड्रोजन 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 तीनों छोटे छोटे ग्रुप्स हैं और क्लोरीन OH इसमें एकोमोडेट हो सकते हैं. मतलब फिर चलो यहाँ दिस इज द स्लो स्टेप, टू स्पीसीज आर रिएक्टिंग, सो दिस इज अ बायोमोलिकुलर रिएक्शंस. सो इट्स ये जो मॉडल है यहाँ दिखाया जाता है. ये मॉडल में हम देखते हैं कि जो OH आता है वो OH क्या होता है ना, उल्टा हो जाता है. हमारे पास भी यहाँ मॉडल है, हम दिखा देते हैं आपको. दिस इज द मॉलिक्यूल, एक कायरल मॉलिक्यूल है यहाँ. इसके साथ ये जो रेड ग्रुप है वो रेड ग्रुप निकल जाता है, दूसरा आ जाता है. जब दूसरा आता है ये कुछ ऐसा होता है, ये कुछ ऐसा होता है. थोड़ा ध्यान से देखिए, अगर ये दोनों को हम मिलाएंगे, देखिए जहाँ ये रेड था उधर ही मैंने ब्लू ले आया. ये वाला तो दोनों सेम है, ये दोनों भी मैच कर रहे हैं, लेकिन चेंजेस जो है यहाँ आ गया है. देखिए ये था ब्लैक एंड ग्रीन, अभी ग्रीन एंड ब्लैक हो गया. मतलब ये डेक्स्ट्रो होगा तो ये लेबो होगा. SN2 या बायोमोलिकुलर न्यूक्लियोफिलिक सब्स्टिट्यूशन में क्या होता है, इन्वर्सन होता है, प्रोडक्ट उल्टा हो जाता है, ऑप्टिकली उल्टा हो जाता है. उल्टा मतलब 3 डायमेंशनली उल्टा हो जाता है. जैसे मैंने ग्लोब्स में दिखाया कि दाएं हाथ का ग्लोब्स जो होता है वो रिएक्टेंट अगर होता है तो बाएं हाथ का ग्लोब्स हो जाता है प्रोडक्ट. चलो देखते हैं नेक्स्ट SN1 टाइप रिएक्शंस कैसा होता है. ये होता है SN1 टाइप ऑफ रिएक्शन. यहाँ क्या होता है देखिए, हियर दिस इज द रिएक्टेंट. ये रिएक्टेंट थोड़ा क्या होता है, द फर्स्ट स्टेप ऐसा कुछ फॉर्मेशन होता है, ये जो वाला होता है इसको कहते हैं कार्बोकैटायन कहते हैं. सो दिस कार्बोकैटायन इज फॉर्म. कार्बोकैटायन, दिस इज द कार्बोकैटायन, this is unstable carbocation. This is a compound, this is a species having 3 different groups attached here. चलो हम पहले वाला भी दिखाते हैं जो इंटरमीडिएट होता है. Here there are 5 different groups around carbon atom, but here the intermediate has 3 different groups around it. Carbon atom has 3 different groups around it. तो ये होता है थोड़ा प्लानर टाइप का होता है. तो तब जब न्यूक्लियोफाइल आता है तो ऊपर से आ सकता है या तो नीचे से आ सकता है, इसी साइड से आ सकता है या दूसरे साइड से आ सकता है. तो 50% पॉसिबिलिटीज रहता है ये मॉलिक्यूल का, 50% रहता है ये मॉलिक्यूल का. मतलब ये ऑप्टिकली डेक्स्ट्रो होगा तो ये लेबो होगा. मतलब ये प्लेन पोलराइज लाइट को राइट रोटेट करेगा तो ये लेफ्ट रोटेट करेगा. मतलब एक ही वेसल में जो 50-50% दोनों ऑपोजिट टाइप का हो गए तो ये हो गया रेसिमाइजेशन. तो SN1 रिएक्शंस में क्या होता है, रेसिमाइजेशन. Just before some time in our previous part we have discussed what is racemization, what is retention, what is inversion. So इसका भी मॉडल हमारा पास है. हम मॉडल के जरिए भी इसको देख सकते हैं कैसे उसका होता है रेसिमाइजेशन. चलो देखते हैं. दिस इज द रिएक्टेंट, दिस इज रिएक्टेंट. once again I am saying it is a chiral molecule, means carbon atom is attached to 4 different groups. chiral ये जब होता है एक ही स्पीसीज रिएक्ट करता है, मोलिकुलरिटी 1 होता है. सो इसमें क्या होता है ना, ये निकल जाता है. जब ये निकल जाता है, ये निकल जाता है तो इंटरमीडिएट कुछ ऐसा होता है. ये निकल गया मतलब इंटरमीडिएट कुछ ऐसा हो गया. अभी जो टेट्राहेड्रल था वो प्लानर हो गया. तभी जो OH ग्रुप है ऊपर से आ सकता है या नीचे से आ सकता है. तो ये दोनों प्रोडक्ट देगा, 50% ऑफ दिस एंड 50% ऑफ दिस प्रोडक्ट. ये दोनों एक नहीं है, ये दोनों डिफरेंट है. थोड़ा ध्यान से देखिए कैसे डिफरेंट है. ये देखिए मैं मैच करके दिखा देता हूँ आपको. देखिए कार्बन के ऊपर कार्बन ही मैच करता है, हाइड्रोजन के ऊपर हाइड्रोजन मैच करता है. ये दोनों तो मैच कर गए लेकिन ये दोनों मैच नहीं किए. तो 50-50% ऑफ चांसेस ऑफ दिस टू कंपाउंड्स आर फॉर्म्ड, राइट. सो दिस इज SN1 रिएक्शन, SN2 रिएक्शन, SN1 रिएक्शंस. दोनों के बीच में कंपेयर करें तो ये दोनों कैसे कैसे कहाँ कहाँ होते हैं उसका एक कंपैरिजन टेबल है, स्क्रीन पर देखिए कंपैरिजन टेबल। SN1 रिएक्शन जो टर्शियरी अल्किल हालाइड्स ज़्यादा करते हैं, SN2 प्राइमरी ज़्यादा करते हैं, प्राइमरी। इसमें 1 ग्रेटर देन 2 लिखा है, यहाँ 2 ग्रेटर देन 1 लिखा गया है। इसमें जो न्यूक्लियोफाइल होता है अनइम्पोर्टेंट होता है, वीक बेस होता है, यहाँ स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस होता है, लिविंग ग्रुप एकदम टॉप क्लास का होता है SN1 में, क्योंकि कार्बोकैटायन फॉर्मेशन है। यहाँ द लिविंग ग्रुप इज here the living group is strong, here the living group is weak, and its solvent is polar, and here the solvent is polar but aprotic. And अगर ऑर्डर देखें तो टर्शियरी ग्रेटर देन सेकेंडरी ग्रेटर देन प्राइमरी फॉर SN2 टाइप्स ऑफ रिएक्शंस, एंड SN2 टाइप ऑफ रिएक्शंस प्राइमरी ग्रेटर देन सेकेंडरी ग्रेटर देन टर्शियरी, फॉर SN1 टाइप ऑफ रिएक्शंस टर्शियरी ग्रेटर देन सेकेंडरी ग्रेटर देन प्राइमरी। तो SN1 के लिए टर्शियरी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रखता है और बढ़ता है रेट, और SN1 के लिए प्राइमरी के लिए रेट इज इंक्रीज्ड। सो दिस इज ए कंपैरिजन ऑल्सो, व्हिच टाइप ऑफ अल्किल हालाइड्स शो व्हिच टाइप ऑफ रिएक्शंस and what is the extent of these reactions. So this is for our better understanding. Now I am saying some reactions that are coming in the examinations for this purpose. SN reactions is very important. We may get a long questions like compare SN1 and SN2 reactions and of alkyl हालाइड्स, ऐसे करके हम लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन हमको मिलेगा, और चॉइस हो गए 4, 5, 6 द कंपाउंड्स व्हिच विल शो SN रिएक्शन, व्हिच विल शो SN2 रिएक्शंस। इन दिस वे वी हैव टू प्रिपेयर ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री रिएक्शंस और अल्किल हालाइड reactions of alkyl halides in various categories, elimination, substitution and reactions with the substrates, all these things. Elimination reactions हमने डिस्कशन किया है, जहाँ alkyl halide एलिमिनेशन रिएक्शंस में अल्किन बनाते हैं, न्यूक्लियोफिलिक सब्सटीट्यूशन रिएक्शंस पर वो न्यूक्लियोफाइल उसमें अटैच हो जाता है। सो माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, डोंट बी nervous or don't think that it is very much confusing or very much disappointing or repelling in nature. Have some interest upon this so that you can remember it easily. Thank you.